Clobberin time! Clobberonimo!
Yeah, happy leap year birthday to you. Happy leap year birthday to you. Happy leap year birthday, dear Superman. And happy birthday to you and Captain Marvel, too, because it's both of your birthdays. Yay. And hello, my good friends. Sorry you had to suffer that, but it is Superman's birthday. Somebody had to do it. Welcome, everybody, to Clobberin Times issue number 527 on YouTube, 1,227 overall over almost 14 years, getting close to 14 years. And, of course, Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. And it is our final entry into Superman month. But nowhere near our last time we ever talked about the great man of tomorrow. And good to see you all here with us tonight. Tonight with me is the great Minimus Prime. Yo.
Not that great. I mean, don't get everybody's hopes up.
Yeah. Okay. I maybe sold it a little bit. But he'll be great tonight, I promise.
I'm okay.
You're okay. I'm okay. Everybody's okay. All righty. Well, look, Loki may be joining us tonight. I don't know. He has been invited, and he said he was going to try to make it. We hope Loki. I mean, he was a Superman fan. And he was invited a while back, but again, we will see if he can make it. Cool. If not, we understand. He's a busy man out there, and we love our buddy Loki. I always thank him for that opening theme. And let's see here. Quick show notes. Well, all is go, and all is normal on Clobberin Times. We'll have the Wednesday Wildcard Wednesday night, and of course, Clubhouse on Thursday night, and the Saturday night Star Trek on probably Saturday night. And then Tuesdays and Thursday nights, I will be on the great Tom Connor's Midnight's Edge After Dark with that august group. And usually on Wednesday nights, Loki's Comic Roundtable. And Friday nights, the great Nick Weiser's Comic Shop Gang, which although, wait a minute, there's no Friday night comic shop this week. That's right. We did the Rocketeer, first part of our Rocketeer review, the Roundtable Rockets, the other night. And the second part will be in 2 weeks because he's going to be off this week. So if I do recall correctly. But anyway, great to see everyone. We're going to start out the week celebrating some Superman, a character that so many of us love. And but first, we're going to do some shout outs because this is the way we roll around here. We like to call out our great wrenches. I have not looked at the chat yet, so I don't know who is here and who is not, but they get the shout out either way because they do so much for us. The great Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher. What's up, buddy? Hope that new puppy dog's going. What a name for a puppy dog, Kirby. Yeah, we should show the doggy. Look at that new puppy. And love it. And of course, again, great name. The Vindicative Inch of the North. Chris Persia. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thanks for all you do, man. Really appreciate you. D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. It was great hanging out with you the other night, talking some Rocketeer on Nicholas's channel. The great Lord Thoth and the wonderful Lady Thoth, of course, the God of Wrenches. Avon lives, long live the Legion. And look, speaking of puppies, he's got him a new puppy also. Look at that. I want me. Everybody's getting puppies, but me, I want a puppy. My partner in crime on Earth B. The Wrench Without Fear, the great J-Man. Whoa. Let's see here. The master of the Cleboni, Hungry Boy, and official artist of Clobberin Times and the cover of Science Fiction Tales, the Book
Mm.
by the wonderful R.M. Briggs. The super wrench himself, Kal-El. Thank you for being here. If you're here tonight, actually, just thank you in general, because I can't tell if he's here yet or not. Maddie's daddy, wielder of Wrench Bionia, and that old rascal Fanty outsider. Here or not, he gets the shout out. Thank you so much, my friends. Let me see who's with us in the chat. Comic Relief Crusader. Hey, man. Good to see you, buddy. No man escapes the manhunters. Indeed, Maddie's dead. That is. I've heard that recently, in fact, because I've been watching some old cartoons. Could not be reached for comment. Well, I would like to ask your opinion on it, but you know the joke. Not funny, but it is Superman's birthday. Is that good enough? Brian Hepburn, what's up, buddy? John Rupus. Is it Rupus? Sorry, buddy. Your Muslim uncle. What's up, Bob? Good to see you, my friend. Always great to have you here. Guagnar. Hey, Mom. How are you? Let's see here. Let's see who else is up in here. He is here. Good to see you, Cal. Donnie Pearson. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Hang on. Daniel's Hot Topics. Hello there. Well, it's not technically Superman's birthday. It's the 29th. It's an leap year, but this is the last, chance to do it. I don't do a Tuesday night show, so we're celebrating it tonight. I celebrate it every year in one form or another, even though obviously we only ask one every 4 years, but still, we love Superman. So we've been talking a little bit Superman all month. So technically it's the 29th, but there is no 29th this month. Claude Salling, what's up? Hey, the Thing. What's up, buddy? What's up, Clobberanimo, Clobberuski, Clobberer? Loki. Oh, on your way. Oh, cool, man. That's good. Look, whatever you can get here, brother. No problem, buddy. Hey, LT popped in. I called you out, but just in case you did hear it, Avon lives and long live the Legion, buddy. And that is so far caught up now. Everyone who was here will shout you out accordingly when anyone else who pops in. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And yes, like I said, this is a month. Let's look at the DC calendar for birthdays. Since we're celebrating Superman's birthday, let's look at all those DC characters that he inspired, more or less. What was the first of the month? Here we go. Let's see what we got. So the first big birthday of this month was the 5th. Thursday, the 5th, Shadowlass. Legionnaires. See, there we go. One of my favorite Legion ladies. On the 6th was Sue Dibney. Wow. Didn't she have a terrible fate, but only in garbage? Yeah. Oh boy, the 8th, Matter Eater Lad. That's Minimus's favorite superhero. Don't ask me why. Is he really? Maybe not.
No.
I got it wrong. I'm sorry.
Bladder Eater Lad was okay though.
Yeah, it's a fair. Number 9, the Great Metamorpho. On the 9th. Wow. They got a lot of birthdays. And of course, number 10, the original Golden Age Vigilante, who was not originally a DC character, but they absorbed him. The 11th, Rock Kren himself, the great cosmic boy. 12, Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Who? Oh yeah, he was a great superhero. Yeah. The wedding anniversary of one of the great couples, and was Hawkman and Hawkgirl. There you go. Let's see if we got any other characters. The Reverse Flash on the 18th or the 17th. It's kind of confusing because his arm is on the 17th. What the hell? Now, who knew that Batman's birthday? No one ever celebrates Batman's birthday. Maybe I should start doing that, since this is also Batman's birthday month. Damn it! And he's Batman. He's Superman's best pal. The 19th and the 20th is Hal Jordan. What a month! Jeez. And wait a minute. Am I seeing that right? Because you can't read some of these. It's kind of difficult. Is that Ultra Boy? Is the 21st? I can't tell because it is. Ultra Boy's the 21st. My goodness. One of our favorite Legionnaires. Sun Boy's the 24th. And then this is definitely confirmed Minimus's favorite Superman villain, Terra Man, on the 25th. That's confirmed, right?
You could be right. That's that was one of the first new villains back in the 70s, and not very interesting. I think they probably threw him onto the Supergirl TV series that first season that was on another network.
Was he really on there?
I don't know. They did it with
They had Terra
what's
Man
his
on
name?
there? Seriously?
I think maybe that they did, but nobody remembers the first season, and nobody watched.
I watched that, but for some reason.
Yeah.
Wow. So today, the 27th, is the birthday of my favorite LL lady, Lori Lamaris. Well, I love Lana Lang, but still Lori was nice. Better than that witch. Lois.
Well, Lila Larrall, Kryptonian actress.
Now, the 29th again, and is not only Superman's birthday, but also Captain Marvel's birthday. Billy I guess it says Captain Marvel. I don't know about Billy Batson. Maybe that's the day Billy Batson got the Hey, welcome everybody, and welcome to the great Stone Loki. What's up, bub?
I am sorry for my tardiness, gentlemen.
No problem, buddy. Look, man, I know it's late for you there because you get up and do an early show.
Well, trying to juggle too much. I'm doing all right. Yeah. How are you doing, Clobby?
All right, man. Like I said, I'm glad you stopped in. I know you had a stream tonight, which I was only able to lurk.
I had a member stream. You're talking about Conan.
Yes, indeed. I voted for the first movie.
Yeah, Barbarians.
Did, right.
Did you catch the end of that stream?
I don't think so. What happened?
Well, it's a. I don't know if you want me to say anything on here.
I don't know.
As far as
not naughty, is it?
No. As far as our love for Trek goes, it looks like Punxsutawney Phil has seen his shadow and gone back into his hole, and we're gonna get 6 more years of Kurtzman.
Who didn't? I mean, who's surprised by that?
I'm not. Most people aren't. I'm just. I wasn't going to say anything. I heard from somebody.
They got him signed back up. You mean?
No, it's not official yet. So that's why. That's why I hadn't said anything. I only heard it from one person that I absolutely trust. But then I heard the same story from someone who doesn't even know the first person who told me, and it was the exact same story. He's got 2-3 year extensions, and they're gonna. So anyway,
We'll get away from drivel like that and just talk some soup. But that's no. I mean, nothing surprising there at all. I mean, it's gonna crap rewarded is crap repeated.
Yeah.
So
I've seen his hair. He needs extensions.
So
look at that. Look at
Superman
that.
Family and the Marvel family. Same birthday. And they're fighting and mad about it too. So, oh my goodness. But anyway, happy birthday to the Soups. Let's get an M in that chat for our good buddy Mark C, everybody, because he loved Superman, even though I used to tease him about loving the wrong one.
Yeah, he loved the burn Superman.
Yeah, but he still loves Superman. I mean,
I love that silver shield. That silver shield looks great.
That's I don't know where I got that. But yeah, that's where the hell's that from?
It was on the back of the album soundtrack, and it was on one of the bubblegum cards had it as a sticker.
Okay, and there you go. Yeah. I love Soups. I've always loved him. I envy anyone who knows exactly their first encounter with him, because I think Minimus might know his. Yeah. I only vaguely know mine. I think it's the Filmation, the Filmation, a cartoon of the early '60s. But Minimus, tell everybody, because I don't think you've ever been on here talking about Superman before. No. Do you remember the first time your first exposure?
I may have been 6 years old, may have been 5, but we had it's kind of hard to explain to people these days. When you had a black and white television back in the 60s and something was on, you either watched it or you didn't. So in the afternoons, after a show called Buckskin Bill, the local, I guess it was a CBS affiliate at the time, ran Superman. I didn't know anything about Superman. I was interested in Flash Gordon and Tarzan and stuff like that. And then one day, there's Superman. And as far as I could tell, being a tiny child, special effects were great. There's a guy flying, busting through walls.
The Adventures of Superman with
George Reeves was my first Superman. And then the Saturday morning cartoons, like whatever the CBS did, the Saturday morning cartoons that I now have them on DVD, which is odd because it doesn't seem like it would appeal to anybody in a modern audience, but it's just something to have a record of. And they were kind of lame, and the stories weren't that great, and the animation wasn't even that good, but it was Superman, and it was Lois Lane and Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, and eventually they worked their way around to Batman. But before all of that stuff, before Super Friends and all those cartoons, the Saturday morning cartoon to watch was Superman. Or as the guy said, The Adventures of Superman.
Superman. That's the way Ted Knight said it on the Ruby Spears one. Yes, it's Superman. Then there was Superboy, of course, the cartoon.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider, hello there. Good to see you.
Superboy was in the middle of two Superman cartoons on the same show.
Yeah. And then I guess it must have split them up later or something. But I love those. Loki. We've talked a little bit about Superman on and up before, but for those who may not know, do you have any recollection of how your first exposure to the Man of Tomorrow?
It's either going to be the Christopher Reeve movie, the Superman the movie, or the Fleischer cartoons. I cannot remember which one. I do know that I was told a story about when I was about 2. I know it was between 2 and 3 years old. My parents were having a party at their house, and I got up in the middle of the night, and I had a blanket. I was a little kid, I had like a blanket. I was the Linus, I had the blanket. I drug everywhere, and I had tied the blanket around my neck, butt naked, and jumped down the stairs at like 2.5, 3 years old, and pronounced that I was Superman before I took the dive. So it was all of that. So I know my dad hated that first movie. He didn't like it.
Really?
Wow. Oh yeah, he did not like he didn't like the turning back, the spinning the earth backwards on its axis. He knew better. He knew better than that, and he didn't like it. And he thought it was kind of boring. But that second movie, he loved the fight with Zod. He loved all of that. And, the fact that he could fly and the fight above Metropolis and all of that, he just loved all of that. So I really owe him for my love of Superman, because he loved that character almost as much as Batman. He was a big Batman fan. He hated the old Batman series with Adam West. He hated that. He said it made them jokes. He hated any disrespect. You guys think Clobby is like they disrespected the character? Oh my old man, he hated anything that made them look weak, that made them look like a joke. But he absolutely loved Superman. So yeah.
There you go. Good memories, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's always going to be part of great memories that we have for these characters. So let's see here. What the hell? Since it is, Captain Marvel's birthday as well. The real Captain Marvel, folks. The Marvel family. Shazam. He said, but Bandit, what's up? Oh, Kogi Pan, hello there. Good to see you. We're still going to keep, it's still Superman month, and we're celebrating soups. Oh yeah. Oh, LT. Yeah. How Jordan rules, dude. Um, are you Loki? Did you ever? Were you ever anything of a Captain Marvel fan at all?
I didn't know much. I didn't know much about him. It wasn't until I was a teenager and I started to put some things together. I saw him and I was like, he looks like, it almost looks like the outfit Superman wore. And I started asking questions. I never really got into any of the comic book series for him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until people were already calling him Shazam and they weren't calling him Captain Marvel anymore that I started to dig into that and learn about, him and Black Adam and some of the backstory and Kandar and all that. Yeah.
Minimus, I know Superman is your favorite of the two, but with Captain Marvel, how long? When did you first discover him? You still love him. Yeah.
Yeah. With me, Captain Marvel was a DC comic book thing because I'd heard about him, and mostly from, believe it or not, and you will know what I'm talking about, the Andy Griffith Show, Gomer Pyle.
Yeah.
Shazam! Yep. That was I had no clue what that was until Captain Thunder. When Superman fought Captain Thunder, and it was Willie Fawcett. It was a guy from another dimension who rubbed his belt buckle. Haven't we all been there? And became a superhero named Captain Thunder, and had some kind of a Native American guy instead of Shazam, and he yelled thunder when he rubbed his belt buckle, as we all do, and I'm trying to understand what this guy was, and in DC, apparently the Superman Captain Thunder team up crossover fight was like testing the waters to see if new audiences would accept Captain Marvel. So they did that, and it was not bad. I mean, I would say the first dozen or so issues of DC's Captain Marvel were pretty good. You don't just drop Billy Batson into the 1970s and expect everybody to think he's cool, because he wasn't. But they told it as if nothing had ever happened. I mean, somebody tried to explain that they were in limbo for 20 years, and I think they abandoned that little storyline pretty quick. But yeah, it was the comic books, and then it was like this the big collector's edition, the tabloid or whatever we were calling them back then.
Yeah.
And not Superman versus Shazam. I'm talking about the one that was Captain Marvel and Wiz Comics, things like that, and the big one that had the reprints.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. They had a lot of reprint stuff. So yeah, I love him, and I never really think about it. This is his time. I always think it's Superman's birthday, and then I check this calendar thing, and I guess, but we're here for Superman because he, without him, he's the big kahuna though.
Without him, you wouldn't have a Captain Marvel. So
no, you wouldn't. But,
according to the courts,
at least according to the court. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man. Well, we're never getting him back in this form. We're never getting the one I love back there. I had Michael retroblasting on last Monday night, and that's kind of what we talked about. We talked about the comforting times when we had the Superman that we want, that we existed. I said this last week, Loki. I was talking to Michael about this, and I said that for the first 48 years of his existence, all of my Superman is in there. Is encompassed in there. It's in gold and silver and bronze. Everything after that, they've taken him. He's called Superman. They've had done a lot of things with him that I personally don't care about. Some stuff okay, I guess, but all of his, again, I love All-Star Superman and a few other things, but for the most part, all of his best existence for me is in that first 48 years, right up until from 1938 to 1986. And that's where my Superman, that's where he lived. Everything after that, I don't know.
Well,
For
wasn't
me,
it
there's some good stuff, but
2011 when they turned him into what you called Super Jethro?
yeah, it was the Screw 52.
Yeah,
The Screw 52. But
that
for the
was
most
nonsense.
part, yeah, it was horrible. For the most part, though, it was just, yeah. I mean, I just don't care. I mean, I had them with a few exceptions, but that said, the fact is he's been around now for, oh my goodness,
85.
85 freaking years, man. That's the character anyway, right? Even though they messed around with him a little bit. And you and I talk a lot, Loki, about the different things that we liked about the character. We've talked about Superman a number of times. Tell me what you would want to see, since they don't do good comics anymore. I mean, maybe there's one here and there, maybe. If you got to choose or to tell James Gunn what to do with the next movie, what would you want him to do?
Hire Henry Cavill back and let him be Superman, for God's sakes.
For his first time, it would be his first time, but yeah.
I mean, you get rid of this whole. I'm sick and tired of seeing. Let's do an origin story. Let's do the young thing. It's been done. If you want a young Superman, there's comics out there. There's TV series out there. You've got Superboy. You've got Smallville. You've got all this stuff that we've already seen. Why are they continually starting these characters over when in their prime they are the baddest asses ever? Batman in his prime, what we got Ben Affleck for like a half a movie and that's it. I mean, you've got a Batman that is seasoned, that can be absolutely badass, where you're not constantly focused on Martha and all this shit. And what do? You go back to this well of, well, it's got to be about this, and we've got to make it about this. And, oh, you know what? Let's start over, and we'll start at the very beginning again. And, oh, we'll do year one. Oh, we'll do year two. Oh, we'll do, when Superman arrives. Oh, we'll do Superman before he gets his cape. You realize that in the motion picture, they spend 5 minutes exploring 12 years of his life. So for 12 years, he is locked away in the fortress, which is supposed to mimic, Jesus out in the desert. But for 12 years, he's stuck in the fortress learning from Jor-El everything he needs to know to be Superman. And then you get to go and see him in Metropolis. So what they gave us in the motion picture was the important things, and they let us have a Superman, even though it was at the beginning. Then we got a Superman that was more experienced in 2. He was able to fight off 3 Kryptonians. Then you get that weird ass third movie where he's like a drunk deadbeat. And then you get, oh my God, they made a clone out of his hair and he talks like Lex. Ugh. It's like they've teetered on the edge of greatness and then pulled back and done something stupid every single time. And I'm just tired of it. Let it rest. You know what? If you want characters that are getting nightsticks up their backside, if you want characters that are like, you know what, I'm gonna leave Earth and I'm gonna leave my kid who isn't Superman in charge, it just let them rest. But they're never gonna do that because they've got to use these characters for their to get off on. And that's what these people have done. That's what these writers have done. That's what these artists have done. They're like, oh my God, we can use him to further our agenda and to get off on the things that we want to get off on. And it's not about those characters anymore. It's not about what they stand for anymore. It's about all this other crap that's just, it's horrible. I would tell him, get a Henry Cavill back and let him actually play Superman in one damn movie. Let him be Superman.
Yep, that's what they were supposed to do. Go ahead, Minimus.
You and I were talking earlier about the colorist Gabriel El Taib, who quit. He was like one of DC's big colorists, and he's a huge guy. So I'm guessing he's very imposing when he walks into the office. He goes in there and he tells him, "I don't like that you dropped Truth, Justice, and the American Way from the Legend of Superman. Now it's got to be truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. So he said, I don't want to do this if you're gonna go that direction. And they let him know, no, this is the new thing. Because if you remember in that, what the hell was that movie with Brandon Routh? Superman Returns. Superman Returns. When Perry White said, truth, justice, all that stuff, they're afraid to say the American way. Because they have a global audience that they're trying to sell it to. Yeah. Which is why I was so surprised that Captain America did so well, because he's Captain America. I mean, he didn't go over and become he didn't become Captain Dubai, and we know Captain Mexico, but Superman is Superman, and he is American, not Americant. And when Gabriel El Taib, who I have spoken to on his podcast before, he's very vocal about it, about changing an iconic character's core. And you're right about one thing. It doesn't really mean anything anymore. They're just there to sell books, which is understandable because it's a publishing house. And as everybody's always telling me, you don't own it. They own it. They can do whatever they want to with it. They can give him blonde pigtails and red eyelashes and a tail because they own it. Well, then they do that. It's not Superman anymore. And I should be able to do my own Superman comic book. But I'm never going to get the Superman from the 60s and 70s back, especially the one from the 70s, who they did try to make vulnerable. I mean, more vulnerable back then. And I think editors were trying stuff. They were throwing, like Julie Schwartz throwing stuff at the wall. If it didn't work, you just forgot about it. Because when Kryptonite Nevermore hit, it was all the kryptonite that was on Earth that got turned into iron. Mm-hmm. All the kryptonite that was already on Earth, but there was still kryptonite floating around in outer space, and it wasn't going to be affected when it hit Earth. So that classic scene where this Hood pulls this green rock out of a box and lets Superman know, I got something here that will zap you permanent. And Superman grabs the rock, it's green kryptonite, and he eats it in front of the guy. And the guy freaks out and he taps him on the chin and knocks him out. That was probably worth that change. But eventually you had to get back to kryptonite, which wasn't a comic book invention anyway. It was a radio invention because Bud Collyer told everybody, I'm going on vacation for the next 2 weeks. I said, no, you're not. Yeah, I am. Bye. And then all he got for the next 2 weeks, granted it was like a 15-minute radio show, Superman was stuck in the bottom of a well. Lassie! And he was just going, and it was like the producer or somebody was just going, and it was because of kryptonite, which they created because Bud Collyer took a vacation, and Jimmy had to save him. And Jimmy also was, I think Jimmy was a creation of the radio show too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that was, I love this.
That was hilarious to me. You got to show that next page where he's tapping the guy.
If I had it, I was trying to find the next page where he just thumped the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
remember, this is when he was a TV reporter.
Well, yeah.
And he set up a camera on a tripod as Clark Kent. And then somehow he flew around as Superman and killed a volcano. I don't know if that was in this issue, but it was early back then. It was that classic team of Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson.
Yep. Jack's mama. Hey there, my dear. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And I hope the family's doing well. And hello to Jack. And that's of course everyone that's our great buddy Mark C's son's mama.
Mark C, never forgotten.
Yep. Good to see you, dear.
Clobby, you said when we were talking about the gun stuff, you said that was the plan. That was Gunn's plan, was to have Cavill come back. Did you know that 3 months? I don't know if you heard this or not. 3 months before Henry Cavill made that post about being back as Superman, they already knew that they weren't going to use him. They had already decided because Gunn was already working on the new script 3 months before they had Henry Cavill post the thing because of Black Adam about being back as Superman. So that means they let him hype everyone up to go see Black Adam because Superman was coming back when they already knew they weren't going to use him in the next movie. You want to talk about some dirty, underhanded crap? That is some dirty, underhanded crap to do to somebody. To say, hey, no, you're all good. We really need you to tweet this out and get everybody hyped because you're coming back. And they had no intention of bringing him back.
That's Hollywood.
Sure is. Dirty pool. Absolutely garbage. And they did him dirty. And, like I said, he still could have played a couple more. He never got the chance to play the character correctly, the way he's supposed to be. And he knew that, by the way. He was, he knew full well that was the case. And it would have been nice to see him get a chance.
Yeah. I kind of think there was a spark of the real Superman in the end of that Justice League movie where he's about to race the Flash. The way he talked to him, I would have liked to see more of that.
No, yeah, as not so good as Justice League is. Superman's characterization's pretty spot on. He just looks weird with that stupid, CGIing over his dumb mustache, that crap.
Well, a lot of that is Cavill, and if you listen to Cavill talk about that movie and the opportunity to work with Russell Crowe in Man of Steel, he said when he was a kid, he was an overweight. He was a little fat kid like I was when I was a kid, and before I sprouted. And Russell Crowe told him he met Russell Crowe when he was a kid. And Russell Crowe told him, "You're gonna have to change your whole life, kid." And he gave him this package. He sent him this box and with all this information in it and what he needed to do. And Cavill did it. And it wasn't until he hadn't talked to him since then until they did Man of Steel, where he said, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I'm the kid you sent that box to. I'm the little chubby kid. And it's a beautiful story to hear him talk about, but you get the idea that in all of that, he's a really good guy. And that's most likely what got him screwed over with this whole thing is he's a nice guy.
Oh, he's one of us.
And he was kind of like some of us. When he was a kid, they called him Fat Cavill. And you're right. I saw that thing on the Graham Norton show where they were sitting there on the same couch. And then, I don't know, a couple years later, Henry Cavill is back on the Graham Norton show, and sitting there next to him was Tom Holland, who had almost the same story to tell about Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And Cavill's nephew was bragging to all his schoolmates that his uncle was Superman. And they called his mother and said, you're going to have to come up here because he's lying. And we got to cut back on this lying. Said, what's he lying about? He said his uncle is Superman. And the kid's mom said, he is. So Henry Cavill goes to the school and it's like, well, here he is.
Yeah. And, more's the pity that that's just more of the tragedy what Snyder did to the character, because he made a character that's, he tried to turn Superman into something that's not kid friendly.
Yeah.
And yet kids still, hey, Ace Cast Iron, what's up, buddy? And Dave G. Sound, hey there, man, good to see you. Snyder, with his drivel, tried to do that to the character, made him basically non-kid friendly. And it just darkened him too much, and it's a shame because even still, at least older kids looked up to him. They don't know.
Yeah.
They just know that, hey, that's Superman. So, and Cavill loves the character. This is a guy that, man, he's so one of us. He doesn't. What was the show? He quit The Witcher because they didn't respect the lore.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I did.
You gotta love that, man. That's never gonna happen. When's that ever happened? Ever?
Wait, you have people like Jerry Conway and Roy Thomas who have written for movies, and they wrote Conan the Destroyer. if you got somebody that was in, I would say Peter Tomasi. I know you don't like Superman having a family, but I thought Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason's run on Superman was great. And the omnibus that I got has all those stories in it, and it had Superman and his son having adventures together, like going on the island that time forgot, where with Captain Storm and all those other guys from the war that time forgot, fighting dinosaurs, and they had a little adventure there. And that, to me, that was Superman, even though he had a kid there with him, tracking around behind him. That was a good depiction of Superman and what he would do, like when Captain Storm was a guy with a wooden leg. Well, I think a dinosaur got it, and he's hobbling around on a stick. So Superman just gets a piece of wood and makes him a new leg. Like it did. It didn't occur to the other guy. I didn't have a knife or anything, but Superman has heat vision, so there you go. But his characterization of Superman, Lois Lane, and even little Jonathan Kent, to me, was as good as it was going to get. And then somewhere along the line, somebody at DC goes, "Hey, Brian Michael Bendis was hot 10 years ago. Let's fire these guys who are writing good stories and have some crap made." And they said, "Sounds like a great idea to me." So that's what they did. And then Jonathan Kent went from like 12, I heard it was 10, but I think it was like maybe 12, to 19, because he went on a space voyage with his grandpa Jor-El, which was also very stupid, to get him out of the way, because of course Bendis doesn't know how to write kids, and well, I should have stopped at Bendis doesn't know how to write.
Yeah,
but it destroyed that character forever. And of course, Superman is not going to say, "No son of mine is going to." No, he's going to love his son, no matter what. But it got too weird and too un-Superman for me, and I had to drop it.
No, so, a lot of people did.
But they started over with number 1, and got to wait and see what that's going to be, because I don't think Jonathan Kent is a teenager in that book anymore. I don't know if they're flashing back or starting over. I think they are starting over, because apparently Perry White had a heart attack and Lois Lane took over. And Jonathan Kent is a young teenager, or child maybe. So,
Loki, when's the last time you bought Superman comics?
I bought the entire Injustice collection.
I mean, Superman comics. You know I had to, buddy. I mean, you
God.
Put that one out there. It was low hanging fruit. I had to do up there. Sorry.
Okay, so I got the updated, and it's just like a different cover, because I've got 3 versions of this, but I got the updated version of the Death of Superman. Okay. And so what it is, it's Death for Superman, Funeral for a Friend, and then the Reign of the Superman and Return of Superman. But when you put all 4 of them together, it makes an absolutely beautiful like S shield on the binder.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I saw that and I was like, I don't need a 4th copy, a 4th edition, but you know what? That looks really cool, and that'll look really cool on my bookshelf. So I got that, the recent one.
You didn't tell 24, did you?
No, absolutely.
Nobody tell 24 on him, because man, we ain't supposed to buy anything but the original.
He'll get upset. Oh God.
We love our boy 24.
The last time I said that, he was like, "You know what, man?" And I was like,
we love our boy 24. We're like giving him some static over that. But I bet he doesn't own one trade or one archives or Masterworks or Omnibus. Think?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. It's all comics. It's yeah. I love the omnibuses. I love the collections. That's the way I got. That's the way I got the Injustice books. So, and I've only read through those once. I want to tell you something. Those are depressing as hell. I mean, it's like I wanted to read through them, I wanted to read the story. Yeah. And it's just, you do it once and and you get about halfway through that. And I mean, there's a lot of story there because they go on for a couple of years. And you're just like, after a while, you're just like, man, I got to the point where what was it? The Green Lantern planet. I can't ever remember what it's called.
Yeah, that's Mogo.
Mogo. So Mogo takes him on, and Superman like blasts a hole through Mogo, and eventually, because he's got a yellow ring, so he's got a yellow ring. Hal Jordan becomes a Yellow Lantern. He kills the guy that Eris likes, the one that's not really a Lantern.
On Stewart.
Yeah, he kills Stewart. So Hal Jordan becomes a Yellow Lantern. It's all messed up, man, and it's all whacked out. And you read through it once, and you're just like, I'll never read those. I don't think I'll ever read those again. I read through comics all the time, so I'll read a bunch of the old stuff all the time. I'll just pick one up. I just got done with the Last Ronin, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Ronin book. I'm probably gonna read through the Dark Tower books again. I've got all of those. I'm just it's you don't ever want to read through it again. It's one of those things that pique your curiosity. What would happen if Superman, turned evil? And even though it's the alternate universe and there's our Superman who beats him and yada, 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 it's just depressing. And Wonder Woman is a huge disappointment in that universe. I mean, it's just, she will do whatever Cal says because she wants, and she calls him that. I hate that. I don't know about you guys, but I hate it when anyone calls him Cal. I'm like, his name's not fucking Kal-El. It's Superman or it's Clark Kent. Leave the Kal-El shit for his parents or something. I can understand that. I can understand Jor-El saying, Kal-El is my son, but other people calling him Cal, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think it was hilarious in Kingdom Come when he didn't want to be Clark Kent anymore. So he insisted that Wonder Woman call him Cal, and she kept slipping him, but then calling him that because he wanted to. But Bruce Wayne, Batman insisted on calling him Clark no matter what. Don't call me that anymore. Just call him Clark. I'm just be a jerk off. It was hilarious. Mm-hmm. But he is Clark.
That's his name. He is Clark.
Yeah. Hey, a Cardinal Sin. Good to see you there, buddy. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate it, man. Okay. But I don't mind him being Cal. But there you go. Hey, Lemon Pie. Hello there. Go ahead. What you got?
Can I swerve into another subject that's kind of still along the same thing? It seems like sometimes like DC hates their own characters. Like they really are embarrassed or they don't want to have anything to do with them. Like when they killed Batman, around the same time Marvel killed Captain America and they brought him back the same way. They killed Superman. And I kind of felt like they wanted him to stay dead because they were embarrassed. And that stupid garbage, I substituted a word, about how he was able to juggle planets and he was hard to write for. And I have always said, if you're a good writer, even if he couldn't. Even if he could juggle planets, if you're a good writer, you can write a story. And that's what leads to these writers today trying to go off on a tangent, take him away from his origins. And I'm not saying make him be able to just leap an eighth of a mile, but if you're a writer, you have a rule book. This is Superman. He can fly. He used to be able to go into outer space. And it's just like they've given up on him. DC doesn't like him. They wanted him to go away in favor of his son. And I think it's not even that. It's that they just wanted him out of the way.
Yep. Yes, sir, they did. Thanks again, buddy. Appreciate that. I don't know. You kind of touched on something that's been bothering me a lot. I just recently, you talked about I cannot. I cannot stand it when people say Superman's too powerful and we can't make him interesting. Because Loki, and we need to get back to Loki when we can. You and I've been we've been reviewing some animated film, different things and stuff. Well, I just got through Ben's because it was Superman month, and I just kind of felt like watching it. I don't know if you have Superman animated series. I don't know if you watched it anytime recently.
Not recently, but I have it. I just haven't had time to sit down and watch it again. I've got it on Blu-ray.
I have a love-hate relationship with that show.
Yes, I agree.
As I think I've talked about before. Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, and I've heard even they've admitted this on occasion. Their take, and look, this is a beloved show. I mean, most people just swear by it. It's a great. Hey, Mark Lersef, good to see you, my friend. Because we love Batman the animated series, and I remember back when I first saw this show. I couldn't, it was the same guys that did Batman animated series. This is going to be great. They automatically from get-go, this garbage about Brainiac being a Kryptonian computer just pissed me off, but I have to deal with that, right? What I couldn't deal with, however, was how Superman is practically an invalid in every episode, too. Even, look, it got later, I went back and watched them all because I watched the first few and couldn't take it anymore. But way back when they first came on back in the 90s. And everyone said, oh, man, it's such a great cartoon. I'm like, look, I love the Fleischer cartoons just as much as the next guy. They are great. And he would be, he had difficulties with stuff back then, but nothing. And they were trying to go for that. But my God, he couldn't take a punch from a little old granny. Could barely pick up a truck, yes. And they were very inconsistent with his powers. And again, it's still a good, very enjoyable cartoon. But good God, man, I don't know.
Remember when Batman kicked him and got away from him?
And threw him.
Yeah.
Batman threw him.
Yeah.
He threw him. Yeah. This show, he's always getting his ass kicked. And my God, look, I know electricity is dangerous to us human folk, Matt G. But you barely, the Joker's joy buzzer makes him go, ugh! Now I know what, by the way, Tim Daly did a good job voicing on the cartoon. And then when they brought him back on Justice League, there was George Newborn. I think I have a theory why Tim Daly didn't want to go back to the role. Because 90% of his voice acting was him going, holy shit, man.
Also, I think he was on Grey's Anatomy at the time.
Could be. But I'm not exaggerating here. He got the living crap beat out of him every single episode. There was one, and they had a lot of good stories, okay? They had one called, I'll never forget, it was a really good one called, let's see, The Late Mr. Kent. I don't know if you remember this episode. This episode, basically, where it starts out at Clark Kent's funeral. Oh, thank you, D-Bud Martin. And he says, your Muslim uncle, remember for 2 months, Clobberin level, did you watch Young Justice and how were Superman in it? I watched the first season. Superman's not in it that much, and I can't stand Connor Kent, so don't get me started on that. So I don't, but Superman is in it a little bit, but I don't know. I wasn't too big on Young Justice personally. Muslim Uncle, I thought it was okay-ish at first. Then I hear it got really bad when it got brought back later. But okay, but on this one though, so this episode, look, I don't know if you remember it, called the Late Mr. Kent, in which we think Clark has been killed, and Superman lets everyone think it because he's after this guy's trying to clear this guy of murder, and there was this. So this bad guy in this episode is a rogue cop, right? The rogue cop, when Superman finally goes after him at the end, the rogue cop gets in a like one of those Metropolis Special Crimes Unit helicopters, okay? And he starts shooting Superman with a helicopter gun, like a helicopter guns, and he's going, oh! He's like, I mean, you'd think he's being beaten up by the Hulk. He can't even fight a damn bullets are not. Look. If bullets are hurting Superman, you don't understand the character. They're bullets. Every time a bomb barely touches him, he goes flying off 50,000 yards. Every time electricity hits him, it's even late. Finally, I've heard that there've been some commentary in some of the DVDs where they said that even Bruce Timm's like, well, I think we may have gone a little too far with that. What was it that chick, that queen chick Titania or whatever, like grabbed him by his cape and pulled him up some steps, and his head was hitting the rocks, hitting the steps. He was going, oh. He is the biggest wimp. Yeah. I heard even Alex Ross said something to Bruce Timm and said, dude, would you please stop making Superman get his ass kicked by everybody? It's really annoying. Captain Infinity and beyond. It's like, Jesus Christ. I can't stand it, man. And this is a good show.
Yeah, you're right. And they changed that in the films. Me and you have watched a lot of Superman films. That shit doesn't happen. It happened.
No, this is just a show.
It happened in The Death of Superman, which was a direct follow-up to this show. But that movie wasn't, it was so messed up that they got everything wrong pretty much. The one they came out with a couple of years ago was way better, and it's New 52. So you can imagine what I'm saying here. A follow-up movie to this series, which was Death of Superman. This was after the Superman Batman.
It's not connected to this though.
It is. The first one is the one that was back in like 2000, whatever it was, early 2000s. They had all the exact same voice actors, the same artists, the same story, all that. It just it's completely messed
not
up.
Connected to this show though, because on Justice League is connected to the show, and they had Doomsday on there.
I know, but that was after that. That was after they did the Death of Superman movie,
right? I'm just
where
saying
Lex clones him. It's
not connected to the animated series though. But anyway, it did have a lot of same actors though, and the art didn't even look like it.
Are you talking about the new one or the original one?
The original Death of Superman didn't even have it. Had Adam Baldwin did the voice for Superman.
Oh no shit! Okay.
Yeah, Firefly, dude. But still, I get again. I think they had Doomsday on the Justice League cartoon.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, they had him multiple times. They had him more than once.
Which was ridiculous. Him fighting Doomsday when he couldn't even fight a little old lady. He couldn't fight an old granny the way he kept the crap kicked out of him. But then, finally, the last episode of the Justice League, remember what they did? I think it was like, this was payoff. Because it made no sense for Darkseid to be scared of Superman the way anybody could kick his ass. But in that last episode, he gets, he tells Darkseid, I've always having to hold back all the time. He gives him that speech about how, but now this is a rare, big guy. This is a rare occasion where I get to cut loose and just do whatever I want. He beats the living crap out of Darkseid. Like we've finally been waiting on this, but still, I'm just saying it's just so annoying. There's a scene. Did you ever see the little Ruby Spears Superman cartoon from the 80s?
Yes.
And the really cool opening credits, it has the John Williams theme. Superman flies in front of a lightning bolt that's about to hit an airplane, and it bounces off his chest. You know what he doesn't do? It tickles. So, Bruce Timm, I'm not going to say it. I was about to say something that I shouldn't say on the show. It makes me crazy,
it's
man.
Your show. It's your show. You want to talk about Bruce Timm?
I don't advocate violence. Let's all listen about sex and violence on television.
What do you want to say? You want him drug out in the street and shot like
no.
What's his name used to say?
No. No.
Garfield. Was it Garfield or was it the other one? Heathcliff or Garfield? One of them used to say, the inventor of this should be drug out in the street.
Well,
and beaten, or whatever.
I would never say such things. This is a very touchy format, like a platform here on ScrewTube. Maybe Darkseid was afraid that Superman in the animated series wouldn't present much of a challenge. But he got that right. Admiral T, what's up there, Captain? I mean, Admiral. I just demoted you. I didn't mean to. You're a captain. You're an admiral now. Admiral. Never told you how Admiral Teague. Well, anyway, I'm going to ask Minimus this after I ask you, Loki.
Okay.
Do you have, because I know you don't really get into all the art so much, just like that, but do you have a favorite Superman artist? Because this month, I've kind of talked about the Superman artists a little bit.
Yes. And I'm trying to. I've got the damn picture sitting right next to me.
If you want me, I can Google it if you want to.
Oh, give me just a second. I'm just gonna send it to you. I'll just throw it in your Twitter.
Okay.
Because I know you'll know who this is, and I can't think of the name of the guy right now. But I showed it to you once, and you immediately knew who I was. So I knew who it was. So I know you're gonna know it. I just can't think of his name right now. Okay, sent to you. That's sitting. If you want to share that, you can. It's in your Twitter.
Yeah, Alex Ross. Yeah.
Alex Ross. Thank you.
Yeah, there you
my
go.
God, probably Alex Ross. I did like the stuff in the '90s. The what you called the
I called it the vile '90s.
The Matador Superman, but it's not the Matador Superman. It's the
mullet.
The mullet man. Yeah.
Back then, I called it the vile '90s. Here's some Alex Ross for you.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That is. Yes, that's killer. It's all killer. Look at that.
Zacharot. Good to see you there. Herc. What's up, Herc 130? So yeah, look, this is a good choice, man. He was just he's phenomenal. And didn't do it enough. I mean, he did some great stuff. I would like to see it even more. Did a lot of covers. Yeah. Minimus, you have a favorite Superman? I mean, I think I may know who yours is.
Well, I really like Alex Ross too, but he has a very, what we call a painterly style. And right. I think it's either watercolor or gouache. And it works well for what he does. As far as continuity, it lacks something when you're dragging out a whole comic book with him painting it. But the covers are always great. His posters are. If I used to not like Kurt Swan, really. I just didn't like him at all. And other people inking him brought up a more powerful Superman. And I'm not going to say that Kurt Swan is my favorite. He benefited greatly from Murphy Anderson and from Al Williamson, who I later found out Al Williamson had always wanted to ink Kurt Swan. And when you got a legend like Al Williamson wanting to do it and you don't use him, that's a stupid editor.
Yeah.
That's just somebody who's going like, Al Williamson, what has he done? Star Wars, I don't know.
It was great.
He was a contemporary of Frank Frazetta and Roy G. Crinkle. But I will have to say, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but the one that was the oddest of all of them was Wayne Boring. And it was almost like he was using these paper dolls to draw Superman. And, there you go, the short cape on the top right. But he always looked big and muscle bound, even when he was Clark Kent. And everybody seemed to shine. And if you ever watch that one where Superman goes back to Krypton, read the one where Superman goes back to Krypton and falls in love with the actress, Lila Lerol, and somehow convinces everybody that he's not related to Jor-El, even though they do resemble each other. That was some great art. A lot of his stuff was really, really good for the time. Now, there's one who, like Alex Ross, is kind of associated with Superman, but he didn't do a whole lot. He did some. He did more than Ross, but he didn't do a whole lot, and that was Neil Adams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, Neil Adams Soups is just... Yeah, he did do a lot of interiors, but boy, did he love a lot of art, like covers and different things. Yeah. Oh God, yeah, it was fantastic. Love Neil. It's obviously easily my favorite is Kurt Swan. I mean, I thought there are a lot of great ones. I want to say thank you, your Muslim uncle, for the $4.99 super chat. You're too kind, buddy. I appreciate that. He says, I bought the black and white serial Superman apps off the iTunes. Oh God, Kirk Allen, great man. Lois was super cute in that. I love watching George Reeves series. Oh, you bought the black and white serial George Reeves series with mom too. So you got the serial and the series, is what you're saying. Because the serial with Kirk Allen, he did two of those. He did what's it, the Adventures of Superman and Adaman versus Superman, which I bought those from him the time we got to meet him. Remember when we got to hang out with him?
With Lex Luthor and Adaman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then, he was he didn't look like he would be a good Superman, did he? And then he started jumping around, and he was able to change his voice, and it was very obvious. This looks like a job for Superman.
Like Bud Collier. This looks like a job for Superman.
Oh, but Fleischer did that too.
Yeah, that was Bud Collier. Yeah.
And man, I tell you what, that art, what Kal-El said, and maybe this is why I have a soft spot for the mullet. I had my hair pulled back just like that when I was a teenager when all that came out. So I aggravated the hell out of my dad and I grew my hair out because Superman had long hair. So I'd have long hair, but I always kept it back in the ponytail because I didn't want to look like I had a mullet either. So
yeah,
we need to play the Wesley Williams song for Loki.
Wesley Willis, I will play that for him. Yeah. It's called "Cut the Mullet." Kirk Allen was, yes, he was in the cutout scene. Hey, Larry, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here, man. He said Kirk Allen was in the Superman 78 movie. Yep, they cut it out for theatrical, but they put it back in for the TV version and the later the director's cut and all that kind of stuff. So, yes, and along with Noel Neal.
What can I ask you, Clobby? What version of Superman the movie do you like? Do you like the original theatrical? Do you like the Donner cut, or do you like the 3.5 hour CBS TV cut or NBC, whatever it was?
Pretty much like them all. I mean, with the 18 times the theater, see the theatrical, so you had to retrain yourself. I remember just when we finally got that ABC cut, that was 2 nights.
Yeah,
I was like, and we finally got to see him. I did not understand why you would cut out the scene where he goes into the subway and walks through the fire and ice and bullets and stuff.
I
didn't. Holy crap! When we got to see that, we were so excited. It's like getting to see a new movie.
Yeah, but you got stuff in there like Otis feeding some kind of beast in the basement, and
the babies. Were they
the
alligators?
Babies. They've something. You never see them.
It sounded like tiger thingies or something.
Tigers or leopards or something.
Yeah.
But there was water down there too.
Oh, so who knows what it was? Maybe a mutant creatures that Luthor made. It
never go anywhere. It would have been one thing if they would have been like in the pool waiting for Superman when they threw him in there with the kryptonite, but it never went anywhere. So I can see them cutting stuff like that out.
But not
the machine gun. No, that was absolutely amazing.
I love that movie so much. Anything that adds to it, and I could have sat there for 8 hours and watched anything. But there were for example, though, even though the ABC cut was 2 nights because of the commercials, the later Donner cut of the first one. Now we're not talking about Donner cut of the Superman 2 now. He did do some kind of strange stuff with it because I watched it not too long ago, where he added some, like when they went out to take, with the missiles and stuff, right, to go to sabotage the missiles. They're like all kinds of weird, like long lingering cuts from wide, far off shots that were like, I don't know why we need that, because he stretched all that stuff out in his director's cut. I would say that there was some of that was superfluous. It was ponderous. I'm like, not sure why we need some of that.
Well, there were cuts. There were cuts with Jarrell that they put in. You can tell that's not Marlon Brando. That's like a CG fake. It doesn't. It's from a weird angle, and you're like, okay, where did they get that? Oh, well, they never finished putting the special effects together, so they just did it when he did the director's cuts. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Mark
when Jor-El said, "You're making an offer I can't refuse."
Mark Lissette says he never saw the Kirk Allen, but he's in the ABC version, but he's also in the director version. I think is even a little bit more. They both have lines. He and Noel Neal and Kirk Allen have lines in that one, where they basically say the little girl's name who's watching him, says she's Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
So you can find that pretty easily. Oh, they're coming out with a big 4K in a couple of months. And even though I don't have a 4K player, I want to get it anyway.
Just got the Blu-ray. I just got the Blu-ray with everything.
That not too long ago. It's got it, but the 4K might have some kind of crazy stuff on it.
How are they gonna? Okay, so how are they gonna do? How are they gonna do the? How are they gonna do? They can't do the TB cut in 4K. There is no like restoring because the way they did it. So the CBS cut, there's no way I guarantee you're gonna get a Blu-ray of that. They'll have the theatrical stuff and maybe the Donner cut too. I mean, they could do that, but I bet you $20 they won't do the CBS cut like that. You'll get a Blu-ray.
Some 4Ks come with a Blu-ray though.
Oh yeah. It'll be a bonus disc or something. I bet.
I can't remember what it is now. I just got a Blu-ray. I mean, a friend of mine just sent me some movie. Why can't I remember what it is now? Just a couple for Christmas. It was a 4K, and I'm like, what? I don't have a 4. Oh, it's got a Blu-ray in there. Okay, because I don't have a 4K player, and I'm probably never gonna have a 4K player.
Oh yeah, you will.
Nah, I don't need one.
I've got an extra one if I drag it to.
No, man, I really wouldn't use it. I mean, I appreciate that, but I don't really need it that much.
Have you seen how cheap the original movies and sometimes even the 2 movies? You can get them at the $5 bin at Walmart. And while I bought that big freaking metal box Superman stuff for like $70 when it came out. And I managed to talk the guy at Circuit City down to 60 because it was priced wrong. Well, how many years later was it, Mike, that you found it at Sam's Club for $20?
Which one?
The Superman metal box
in the tin.
I don't know. Because see, I got that as a birthday present from my kids one year back right after Superman Returns comes out.
Well, it's weird because it was at one time it was looked upon as a premium, and boy, people are going to really love this. And I go to Circuit City, and I managed to talk my way out of paying the full price for it, and I thought I was getting by. And then I hear about you. Oh, $20 at Sam's Club, the whole thing.
No, I didn't pay for that though, because I got that as a present. It came out right when Superman Returns came out on DVD.
That's what
my kids gave it to me as a present.
I had a Sam's Club card, and that's what I saw it for there.
You're talking about the silver
set.
The silver looking one with the black S shield on it.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
It had a white and blue. Hang on a minute. Let me go across the room. I can tell you.
I'm pretty sure it's got the black. I'm pretty sure it's got the black S shield.
I don't know. All I know is I got it, and it's got everything in it, including Superman Returns.
Okay, so I have that one, and then I have the Blu-ray set. I got the Blu-ray set for $30 on black whatever it was on Amazon. So that was last year because I just got that. I just upgraded to Blu-ray because I had that silver tin. The big silver tin one that has everything in it. The CBS cut, the returns, all that shit.
Yeah.
But that was all DVD, and I got that for nothing. I can't remember. I know it was nothing because it was on clearance, and it was like they were giving it away. I said, oh, my God, I'll take it.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I got it as a present for...
I wish I had a camera because this is a substantial metal box, and on the front, it has the Superman the movie S, and on the back, it has the Superman Returns S. And you open it up, and of course, there's Brandon Routh and a little
that was just when that came out.
A foam spacer on the inside, and includes Superman 1, 2, 3, 4, Superman Returns, the documentary You Will Believe the Making of a Saga, and Look Up in the Sky, Story of Superman.
Yep.
And they had 2 versions of Superman 2, of course. So, and that
a lot of stuff I think's loaded up.
The lenticular back cover, but it was Brandon. I don't know if that was Brandon Routh. That looks kind of like the real Superman costume, where he's flying up and shattering glass through the Superman S. So, yeah.
I'm going to share this with you, Clobby, real quick.
Okay. Hang on.
That's the one that's the one I've got.
Yeah, that's what I got. I think that's what I got too.
Yeah, it's the one we all got. I don't know what happened to my cardboard wrapper that was in there. But yeah,
mine might look different from that. Is that what is that? I don't know. It came in a. Is that opened?
Yeah, that's opened. It came in like a slip cover. Yes, but I don't have the slip cover. I just have this. So I've got this collection. The one that came in the slip cover. Give me just a second, and I will back up because it shows a picture.
I'd have to go see mine. I mean, look that in a while.
Yeah, it comes in like a silver slip cover DVD collection. I'll pull the Amazon one up and I'll switch. Let me switch. No, not settings. There you go. So there's that one.
That's what I got. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. You pull it out of there, but you don't have the slip cover. I got the slip cover.
Yeah, I don't have the slip cover.
Gotcha. So. Cool.
Yeah.
That's good to have. Like I say, now everybody likes to switch to Blu-ray. I gotta admit, I've been guilty of that too. Like, even though I have a DVD or something, wanting to get the Blu-ray.
I'll tell you what, I've got every version of Lord of the Rings. So I've got the VHS Lord of the Rings. I've got the VHS extended Lord of the Rings.
They did VHS.
They did VHS. I've got of those. They're the extended editions are 2 tapes.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So I've got the DVDs. I've got the Blu-rays of all regular and extended, and then. Get this, because this was nuts. I spent $69.99 on the 4K, just Lord of the Rings, and then I got the Hobbit for $60. All 3 movies, 4K extended edition, regular edition, the full 9 yards, and then they came out with the damn ultimate set that I ended up spending $120 on. That has everything in it, plus all the bonus content and all that jazz. So it's just like, how many versions do you need? How many versions of movies do you need? I've got the Blu-rays. I might look at what's in the 4K, and if there's any bonus goodies, I will consider it. But I'm happy with my Blu-rays.
Yeah, I got your answer. As many as they'll buy.
Yeah, as many as people buy, and it's all Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
God, it's always Warner Brothers come out with 5 different editions of the same movie and sell you different versions every time.
Yeah,
that's Wolfen. Hey there.
You got the Blu-ray. I'm sorry, Blu-ray Lord of the Rings with the kind of a magnetic clasp.
Yes,
that shuts it. I got that, and I've got
You're talking about the box where you open it up and there's the map of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
I've got that and the Hobbit. The Hobbit one was hard. I had to order the UK version of the Hobbit to get that box because they didn't have it in the US.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I got all of those. I don't know what I did. I think I had the VHS copies of the theatrical cuts, and then I think about a year ago, they had all 3 Lord of the Rings movies in one box for $10 at Walmart. So I went ahead and got that just for the sake of completion.
Yeah. Too many versions from Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Well, I won't need it. I won't need it. Well, if they do have a Blu-ray though, I might get that 4K. It's probably not going to be cheap either.
You should probably get codes. 99. Okay, so Warner Brothers almost always puts the codes in, and that you can stream. You can stream a 4K movie now, and it'll actually look close to what it's going to look like on the disc.
We'll have a crappy TV, so it don't matter what it looks like. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't really care about 4K. I mean, it's not really. And I have garbage eyesight anyway, so I'm fine with the normal Blu-ray.
Glasses exist, Clobby. I had to get glasses.
Since I was 10 years old, dude.
You know what? I tell you what.
I wear glasses. You know that.
I was sitting there. Me and Eris last year were sitting there watching. This was before I found out about the diabetes stuff. Watching Star Trek Next Gen. We were going through Next Gen, and she saw that I was like squinting at the screen, and she goes, "Do me a favor." And she handed me her glasses. She goes, "Put these on." And I was like, and we were watching the special Blu-ray, the upgraded Blu-ray with the better effects and the redone stuff and all that. And I put it on, and I saw the ship, and I was like, "Oh my God, that looks good." And she's like, "You need glasses."
You do know I wear glasses. I mean, I'm wearing them since I was 10 years old. So.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw you.
No, I mean, I can't. It's just crappy eyesight. Das Wolfman and hey, look there, Matthew Pounder and Hungry Boy. What's up, dude? Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, no, look, these eyes. I mean, I'm not. It's not like I can't see it. I'm just saying, I didn't really. When people someone will say, "Look at this in Blu-ray," or "Look at this in 4K," what I see, I'm like, it looks pretty cool, but then is it that much more fantastic? I mean, it looks good enough. Like I got my Blu-ray of a motion picture. I got the only 4K I've ever owned is the one that got sent to me last month by my friend because it had a Blu-ray so I could watch it. And now I can't remember what the damn movie is. What movie was that? Oh, Real Genius. Because I love that movie, and a friend of mine knows I love it. And all I had was the old DVD. I mean, and I got Real Genius just a couple of weeks ago, like back for Christmas. A buddy of mine sent it to me, and there was a 4K. That's what it was. So now I do own one. And if anyone wants my 4K of it, you can have it. Because I'll never be able to play it.
The one where God hangs up on Ken?
No, not God.
Jesus. There's a difference.
There's a difference. Yeah, I love that movie. The greatest movie of all time, says T-Bud. Well, there you go. But, yeah, so you both picked your favorite Superman artist. I mean, like I said, mine's Swan. But these are like, just all these. We can't have a Superman birthday party. We're talking about the artist and the writer who gave him his birth. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster gave us this wonderful character, and the world was never the same.
Yeah.
And I missed my chance. Excuse me. I missed my chance to. But back in no, what I need to find. Back in 2015, I went to a place called the Superman Museum in Metropolis, Illinois. Have you ever been there, Alok?
No, I haven't.
Well, if you ever get a chance.
Metropolis. I heard Metropolis was really cool.
Part of it is.
The town's a dump.
Yeah.
I kid, but it's not. You know what it's not? In Metropolis. That's what it's not.
Yeah.
But it's got this big Superman statue out there, and they have a big celebration there once a year. And,
No, go ahead. I think I know where you're going.
What? Oh,
about who you almost saw or didn't see. I don't know.
No, well, no, I was gonna say, well, when I left, this, man, look at this. I just, oh man, so dude, I could have spent more hours in there. I had some friends with me. When I left this celebration, and I wonder if anybody in our chat's been there. Hey, Midnight's Oblivion, good to see you. I went to another. It was it was sort of like it was one of those pathetic like single vacations that single people do, And I went to I was gonna go. It was the week before Dragon Con. I took a couple extra days instead of going just to Dragon Con. This was 2015, and I drove up to Metropolis and went to this. and then drove the next day to Canton, Ohio to go to the NFL Hall of Fame. But you know what? If I could have detoured, I got lazy and I was crunched for time. So I wanted to go visit the Jerry Siegel's and Joe Shuster's house. I don't know. So Jerry Siegel's house, the writer of Superman. I don't know if you knew that, Loki, but you could actually go visit the house that we created Superman in.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and I almost did it. I didn't. Now I have a buddy of mine that went later. Thank goodness the correct saying is still posted below the Superman statue in Metropolis. Yeah, if you, whatever you, by the way, when you drive in or out of Metropolis, or depending on where you drive, going to Metropolis, you'll see a sign that says, "Welcome to Metropolis, Illinois, the home of Superman."
Yeah.
That picture down where it says Silly America with the white, is that his actual from the set, the white one with the black S? Is that something they wore on the set? Is that one of the outfits that Marlon Brando wore? The white one with the black S shield.
Yes.
No shit. I want that. I'm always into some of the alternates. I love the black and the silver because of Marlon Brando. That's the first time I ever saw that. And then he wears it when he's resurrected. And I see something like that. And I'm like, you know what? I love that alternate look. I love the S shields. I've got a couple of different S shields. I've got a really cool red, white, and blue one, but the Texas flag is inside the S shield. So it's little things like that I really like, and I really like getting to add to my little Superman collection.
When we went there, the George Reeves costume, which is usually there, was gone because some jackass stole it. But they ended up somebody got it back, but it hadn't made it back yet. So they were getting it brought back and fixed up. And so we didn't get to see the George Reeves costume. Midnight's Oblivion. Says member for 5 months at the Clobberin level. Hey, buddy, thank you so much. Thanks to whomever always gifts me memberships. Well, I'm glad you're here. And yes, I'm glad they do. And that's the great Cardinal Sin. And I think Larry and Eric and a lot of other good pals do that. And I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for that. But yeah, it was some numbnut stole the George Reeves costume.
Yeah, brought it back.
They got it. They get up getting it back. They got it back. There's the gift shop. It's only $5 to go in there, too. Like to go to the museum. I think that's reasonable, don't you? So I want to go back. Damn it. I want to go back.
85th anniversary in June.
Oh my! It is
the Superman celebration.
Look at all those people.
Well, anyway, what's her name from Doctor Who? Ace from Doctor Who was there one year.
That's right. Sophie Aldred.
Beating on a Dalek with her baseball bat.
It was weird because way out, it is not, like I said, it's not Metropolitan. And way out on one of the roads leading out of there, because I kind of didn't see it when I was driving into the dark the night before. I'm riding out and I realized, I found like there was a comic shop out there. And it's out way out in the weird, like on this nothing, like on this it's not a remote road, but it's just on this, the kind of road you wouldn't expect to see a comic shop. And it's a corner building by itself. And it's got a TARDIS out front, and it's got Green Arrow painted on the side, so you can't miss it. And they didn't have a whole lot there, but still, it was a comic shop, so I went.
A way to describe it, I don't know, because it's been a long time since I've been over there. It's Metropolis is kind of like College Station, Texas is to Dallas.
Huh?
College Station.
Loki
will probably know if he's been up there. College Station, Texas, as opposed to Dallas. Metropolis is to St. Louis,
yes.
maybe.
Oh yeah.
And outside College Station, you're looking at farms. So you're looking at a lot of empty land, cattle grazing. So it's almost like a little small.
We got hit by a tumbleweed one year coming back.
I had Loki had a friend of mine back in the late 80s. He had, and I think Minimus might remember him, He had a gigantic Superman collection. I mean, he had one of the top 2 or 3 collections. He would go to the cons and hit them. Remember, he was at that SwampCon with us at Kirk Allen was at.
Was it
a table? His name was Mike, and I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen him. I can't remember much about it. It's been we were friendly back in the 80s and 90s, but I haven't seen him since then. He was up, I think, from Memphis or something. But he traveled a lot with his Superman collection. I don't know if he ended up giving a lot of it to this thing or not. I don't know, but like if you look at some of these pictures right here. This is the kind of stuff he would have every single Superman knickknack you could think of, and you have he would bring fill up tables at cons and whatnot. Now it would look like this, but it'd be on tables and stuff. So who knows? Maybe he ended up giving them a bunch of this. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Now, Stephen Kellel says it's relatively well known why DC chose February 29th as Superman's birthday, but within the comics continuity, was it the Kent's idea to choose February 29th? That's Clark's birthday, or I don't know. Minimus might know, but I don't.
I think it was just a whim because I went to school with a guy who was born on February 29th, and when he was 16th, his mother had his 4th birthday party.
Yep,
because that's how they used to reckon it. Not March the 1st, February 29th. Sorry, son, you were born on February. You were born on leap year.
I know.
See you in 4.
I grew up with a kid that they did the exact same shit to him. They did the exact same thing.
Remember Froggy from the Little Rascals? Froggy from the Little Rascals. His birthday was leap year.
And then he died.
You remember him? The kid that talked like this. I'm the Little Rascals. Hey. Come on, somebody's got to remember Froggy.
Everybody
smoked too
Froggy.
Much. He smoked too much.
Mr. Smoked too much. Oh, I see. Mr.
He used his Little Rascals money to buy himself a scooter, like a motorcycle, and a car hit him and killed him.
What?
Oh shit! Really?
While he was like 16 or 17. No,
really?
I'm gonna do like Don Lemon. Google it, mofo. I will tell you.
Is that true?
It is true.
Crap. That's disturbing.
And remember the one guy who kept telling everybody he was buckwheat? He worked at a grocery store somewhere, and then they found out, no, he's not buckwheat. Buckwheat died. Oh, crap.
Oh, hey, Clobby, that Superman collection we were looking at, you can buy that for $40 on VHS through Amazon. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You can buy the VHS collection through Amazon for $40.
Damn.
When did they stop making VHS?
Probably wasn't that long ago because when Phantom Menace came out, it was on VHS.
1999. I had that one.
Well, dude, this says 2001. This says it was made in 2001.
Yeah, but when did they stop making those? Weird.
Probably like Blockbuster. You go, when did Blockbuster go out of business? And somebody tells you, I think 5 years ago. And you go, holy shit! I thought they went back in the 90s. And
I bought a brand new cassette tape the other day. So my girls love Stranger Things, right? So I bought them a damn cassette tape player. I shit you not.
They make those?
They made so Stranger Things came out with the radio boombox that they have in season 4, and they actually have cassette tapes to go with it. So the boombox from Stranger Things season 4 it's got Bluetooth, so you can hook it up to other stuff. So it can do Bluetooth. It's wireless. It's got radio. It's got AM, FM. But it's also got a tape player, so you can actually put a audio cassette tape in that player, and it'll play.
Wow!
Does it rewind and eat the tape the way it's supposed to?
Probably.
I had, and I probably still do somewhere because I still have a lot of cassette tapes. I had Iron Maiden. What was it called? The Number of the Beast, and since I only had the one cassette player, I have it in my room. I have no idea what happened to the tape, but I don't throw things away, so it's in a box in my house somewhere. So I'm going through Walmart the other day, and I see Iron Maiden CD. Holy crap! And Mike actually, Clobby, I'm sorry, actually knows what I'm talking about because it has a song on there called. Come on, you know this.
Oh, Number of the Beast has the Prisoner song on there.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. The Prisoner.
Yeah. Freaking.
And that was the only time you listened to Iron Maiden with me was driving in my car.
Well, if it's a Prisoner song,
Yeah, I know.
I bought 2 Guns N' Roses vinyls just the other day. I got Use Your Illusions 1 and 2 on vinyl.
Yeah,
first time, and
oh
yeah, I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of records.
Go get you some Motorhead. How much are you going to spend on one of those things? I saw one for $30 for one.
Oh, for a vinyl?
Yep, looking for Ace of Spades. They didn't have it, but I did get one, and I haven't even cracked it open yet.
I've got Motorhead. I've got Bad Company. I've got Journey. I've got Metallica. Right. I've got Megadeth. I've got AC/DC. A lot of AC/DC because I love AC/DC.
You know, you're a generational failure as a father when your son listens to you're in the car with your CD of Bob Seger. Here I am on the road again. He goes, "Who is that?" I said, "Bob Seger." Turn the page. He goes, "Metallica does that song." I said, "You know what? Get out of the car."
They do?
Yeah, they do. Metallica did a video.
I thought it was a Willie Nelson song for a long time until I until I did the research on it. I was like,
I think it's called "Turn the Page," but
it is
that's one of the lines from it. And the Metallica did a video, and they kind of told the story. It's kind of about a stripper who lives in hotels with her kid and goes out and makes money at night and comes back with, like, I don't know, McDonald's to feed the kid at like 2:00 in the morning or something. And it's really, really sad.
Yeah.
But I like their version too, but I still got Bob Seger in my head.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash, before he died, did a cover of a oh my God, what's that song called?
Hurt.
But yeah, Hurt. Holy shit, dude! I love that song. I hadn't listened to Johnny Cash in years because my dad used to listen to it, but that immediately brought me back into I'm gonna get Johnny Cash. Yeah. I'm gonna go out and finding that record, finding that pucker on vinyl. Eris is like the shit when it comes to finding rare stuff. It was a $200 album to get that, and I think she found it for like $70 on a resale site.
We've got, if you ever come back here, we've got two. We've got a store called Classic Vinyls, and I think the other one I can't remember. It's a record store.
Oh yeah.
They mostly have records, and I got the soundtrack to Man from U.N.C.L.E. there.
Oh no shit.
And the soundtrack to the Marx Brothers movie Coconuts, and they were like $6 because who wants to listen to this crap? Okay, old people. But Classic Vinyls, that guy is in a band, and don't you love it when a guy who runs a store, actually owns a store, has a band?
Oh yeah. Well, that's the dream. I don't know if Clobby ever talked about stuff we've talked about, but yeah, when I retire, I'm gonna open a record store called Valhalla Vinyl.
Nice.
And
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Everybody keeps asking me, why do you want to open a store to retire? I'm like, because that's what I want to do. I want to go in. I want to have my cup of coffee. I want to put on a record. I want to hit the open sign, and that's gonna be my goddamn retirement.
Yeah. and don't let anybody tell you there's no heavy lifting. Because the previous owner, rest in peace, she died of cancer, and the guy who owns it now is like, he has stories about her, and we talk about her all the time. She was like the big mama of the record store, and I would go into her old store, which was cramped, and she would have boxes of records sitting on the floor. I said, you mind if I go down here and look at them? She goes, well, I was going to go through them first, but I just haven't gotten around to them. Like 30 boxes of records that people bring in, they trade in.
Yeah.
And now he does it where he has a much bigger store. I think it's 2 or 3 times the size of the old one. And he still gets people bringing in old records. And it's not like he's going to go, oh, Pat Boone. Okay, hang on a second. We any use for Pat Boone? Oh, we're gonna make a summer table for the squirrels outside with this fucking Pat Boone record.
Give them $1. Give them a
JT
fucking $1 for it, and yeah.
Monto
JT Kirk.
Bunny.
Good to see JT Kirk and Captain James T. Skywalker. Yeah. Well.
No, that's how you make your money though.
Yeah.
Really, with places like that, because you might, oh well, here's 2 boxes of records, $50 records a piece. Give them, $150, and then go through there, and you might have some gold in there, and you might have some stuff you sell for $5, but you're going to make money.
There's gonna be some aluminum in there.
Yes, sir.
Clobby, I've got to go, brother.
All right, bro. Thanks for being here, man. I know it's late for you, brother.
Thank you.
Everyone, if you have not already, please subscribe to Loki's channel. Go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say, I'm just gonna keep taking it off topic because I'm running on empty and I'm out of fuel. So,
dude, I'm sorry. Look, I know you were busy and you didn't never feel like you have to. That's why I don't bug you. I know you work.
No, I love this. I love this. Seeing these pictures, talking about Superman.
Yeah.
No, I love this, and it was really cool hanging out with both of you guys tonight. So,
no, I appreciate.
We all love these characters and love this stuff, and that's all that matters, man.
Yes, indeed, brother. We'll appreciate you. Now, see, are we? I don't know what the deal is with Wednesday night as far as you doing?
Oh yeah,
I don't know if I have that group thing or not this week or the next, but I'll let you know.
Okay, just let me know. If not, we'll wait unless I can get somebody to fill in. We'll wait. And
like always there, and like I said, it's like usually that one night when the whole gang the geek gang gets over here like gets together,
and that's never an issue, dude. I totally get that. Yeah, that's all cool.
Don't look like we're doing one this week. Anyway, all right, buddy. It don't look like it, so I'll be here. I'll see you Wednesday night.
Happy birthday to Superman. Take care, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Take care, man. Everyone, the great Stu Lukey. Yeah, I could look at these. Look at this place all day, man.
Is this website pictures or is this stuff that you did?
This is the
Oh yeah, remember that Superman
photo gallery?
If you go back one minute, Superman coming out of the wall.
That was one that they used to have at Warner Brothers. Yeah. But this is the museum website slideshow they got. That's pretty cool. You can put your head on there. Now they don't have it in here, but there's actually way kind of, it's weird, very far away from the museum, down by where there's some restaurants and all this other stuff. Down in Metropolis, they have a Noel Neal statue, a big, where they had some kind of celebration thing. Andy Masterson, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. All right. So they have the Noel Neal statue. Strange. Huh? Yeah. I remember that day we went. Boy, it was boiling hot. Oh my goodness, it was September.
Well, Superman Day is always in June, and because of the cover date on the comic book Action #1, but I'm not saying I'm ever going to make it up there because these days that's a long freaking haul, and it helps if you know somebody in between, and we don't. So might have to take a trip up there and stop off in some podunk town and get a motel for the night.
It'd be nice. It would be nice. I'd love to do that just once because, like I said, I don't know. It would be crowded, but it would be kind of fun. And I don't know how huge the crowd is there. It's not a big place at all. So,
well, Brian K. Morris used to go there. Does he still? Because
I don't know. I don't have no idea. I'm sure he probably does if he's able. They have now, sort of like hotels around there. I mean, you got to get.
You got to go to Paducah.
No,
20 miles out of town.
But I stayed at. They had a Harris Casino hotel there that I ended up getting a pretty cheap room on, considering I was only there for a short time anyway. But it was a nice room. I'm like, man, this is like $60-something bucks. And I was wondering why it was so cheap. And I go, oh yeah, it's a casino. They don't care about it. They want you to stay cheap and gamble. I didn't. I just stayed there one night. And So, Dad, man, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Did you ever see their website back in the day when it said, if you're coming here, we recommend you stay at these hotels in Paducah, Kentucky, which was 20 miles away, before they had any accommodations there?
Yeah, but I went a dumbass way because of the GPS. I didn't even go through Kentucky. I went a completely different way. I went up 55.
Let me tell you about the way I almost made it there one time. I almost made it to the Metropolis Museum. I was going there with my friend Scott. We were going to Cincinnati because he's the Scooby Doo guy and he did a voice for a theme park up there. And I was driving. We got there. He said, "Let's pick my dad up and take him because my dad is a whole lot of fun, except not." So we go up there. We go to Cincinnati. We're on our way back, and I had struck a deal with him before. I said, "I will go with you if we get to go by the Superman Museum in Metropolis, Illinois on the way back." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, no problem. It's not that far away." So we're on our way back, and I'm going, "Yeah, going to see the Superman statue. Yeah, going to see Superman. Even if it's closed, I just wanted to be there." And I said, "Look, it says Metropolis, 20 miles." And Scott's acting like he didn't know what I was talking about, and his dad's sitting in the front seat with him. And I said, Superman Museum, we're supposed to go there. And Scott's dad goes, "Oh, you don't need to go say that." And
well, there you have it.
I paused. I shut my mouth for a second, and I looked over at Josh, and I said it. I didn't yell it. I said it loud. "The only reason I'm here," I was looking at Josh, his son, I said, "the only reason I'm here is because your dad told me that if I went with him, we would stop by the Superman Museum on the way back. And now we're not." So his dad goes, "I know a shortcut back to Poplar Bluff, Missouri." All right, do whatever you want to. So we go 20 miles the wrong way on a dead end road that ended up in some kind of a factory.
Wow.
He said, "I know this place like the back of my hand." I go, "Ralph, look at the back of your fucking hand now." So we turn around and we go back.
Dude.
I meant in the French way. But on the way back, we had to go 20 miles back, and he says, "Turn this way." I said, "Scott, don't listen to him," because we were playing with the road atlases in the back seat. And I'm sorry, I was angry. I apologize to everybody who's never heard that word before. It means healthy. But anyway, we went another 10 miles the wrong way, and then it started to get dark. And I just said, "What time does it close?" Having no internet connection in the car at the time. He said, "I heard it closed at 6 o'clock." I said, "All right. Can we just go by there and take a picture or whatever?" And he says, "Yeah, well, we can do that." And his dad goes, "That's going to be a long way out of the way." I said, "You mean like the way we just went?" And it is a sticking point with me that I was 20 miles from the Superman Museum because some dude wanted to get home early and didn't hear about my agreement. I never got to go see it. So, maybe one day.
I'm sure Superman would not approve of you not getting to see it. And he would yell like Superman's doing right there.
Yeah. He wouldn't pick me up like that, though, would he?
Yes, I don't know. If he's the one from the animated series, he might not be powerful enough.
Probably not. I do weigh quite a bit more than I used to.
Yeah.
And if I have him lick a battery, will it hurt him?
I don't know. Probably would. Knowing him.
Battery! I shocked myself.
No. Well. Good to see you all here, my friends. What a good crowd we have here.
Most of them. I'm not that good. Nobody listened to me. I'm terrible.
Let's see. What was I doing? Oh, okay. Well,
you're about to say good night, I think.
Well, we're almost there. Yeah, I think we pretty much celebrated Superman's birthday adequately, didn't we? Well,
I think
maybe
so.
not.
Well, and records and rock and roll and stuff like that, and Star Wars and probably who knows what else.
No, I don't know what. I don't know. I certainly don't. Well, great to see you all here tonight, my friends. We're about to pretty much start wrapping it up, here because Superman has a bedtime. Well, no, he doesn't actually. So ask any of you friends here for let's see. Let's look at the calendar again here. And remember,
actually, there was a story that said why Superman needs sleep, and he was kind of going nuts in the middle of the night, and something was happening in Metropolis. He could never find the guy who was doing the wrecking stuff, and it turns out it was him because they found a psychiatrist told him even a Superman needs sleep. So he took a nap, and then he had to sleep like a half hour a day to kind of recharge his mental capacity, so he wouldn't go nuts and go destroy stuff in the middle of the night. That was from the 70s.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's a Superman story. Yeah. I bet it was Marty Pasco.
Probably one of those guys.
Well, sounds like a Martin Pasco type thing.
Pesky Pasco.
So, yeah. I'll tell you what. So I guess in closing, I'll simply say that Superman means a lot to me. I love this character. I don't know if any of you have any favorite moments or things that you remember about the character. If you want to throw that up in there, the chat. But I'll say this about, since it's Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, and we're honoring our buddy here. He and I, when it comes to the character of Superman, had very, very differing opinions in the things we talked for years about how he wanted to. I think I don't know where you first heard me complaining about John Byrne's recramp of the 80s of 1986, but he loved it. He was a big John Byrne fan. He knew that I didn't, so every now and then we would bump into each other. I don't know how we got agreed. We would go, said, I said, "Why don't you come on? We'll talk about it on my show one of these days or whatever." And we'd bump into each other every now and then for every few years, over the years. And Mark would say, "Hey, when you gonna have me on the show? Don't you want to?" I thought we were going to talk about the Byrne Superman, because I guess he wanted to convince me that it was great. I don't know why. And I guess at that time, even though he did buy comics for me as a youngster, I guess he didn't know me well, because if there might be some things you can convince me of in this life. But if you ask somebody who knows me as well as Minimus here does, you could definitely, John Byrne Superman ain't one of them.
Mm-hmm.
He could attest to that. Everyone who knows me could attest to that. But it was still, I thought, sure, man, we'll talk about it one of these days. And then when I first moved to YouTube back in 2020, we finally did it. It was one of our first shows that I did here, where the great Mark C and I, we talked about, in an amicable and fun way, we talked about, pro and con, point counterpoint, the John Byrne Superman revamp of 1986. And as much as I can't stand Byrne, what he did to it, as you can see on this piece here with all these different Superman, tribute to him, I put a John Byrne Superman up under out there, because he loved it. He talked about how he didn't like the character until Byrne did what he did to him. But I, being a lot older, just think Byrne really dumped all over the character. He also dumped all over the people that worked on the character before. He revamped things. I cannot stand revisionism. Every boy says Byrne's nickname should have been Bluster and Byrne. Bluster and John Byrne. He was a blustery type, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. And as I used to like to tell Mark, you're the biggest John Byrne fan I know outside of John Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
Because Byrne sure was a big fan of Byrne.
Yeah.
But good night, Das Wolfman. Thanks for being here, my friend. But still, I came to really, respect his opinions on stuff. Not Byrne's, Mark's.
Yeah.
And he really knew this stuff. He really loved his comics. He loved Superman, and he did learn to love Superman, even if it was through Byrne. And so I dedicate tonight's birthday show to I dedicate every comic show on Monday nights to Mark, of course, but I dedicate this one to him. This Byrne drawing that I used on this one was kind of a cheat, because it was before Byrne ever drew the character. It was from The Art of John Byrne, a publication, that he did. And, when Byrne loved the movie, he loved the first movie. And he was asked one time, way before he ever got a chance to do Superman, what he would do with him. And Byrne said, I'd adapt the movie and go from there, which was kind of, and you know what? In its own isolated little universe, if he had done that, that might have been a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
He probably could have done pretty well. But at this point, he got a hold of the continuity, and he said, nothing ever happened to Superman unless I say so. And he just chopped out anything he didn't like. He even regretted what he did to Superboy and how it affected the Legion of Superheroes. So, hey, but we all regret things sometimes in life, and Byrne didn't even stay on the book that long. Really, if you think about it, he wasn't really on the a couple years.
And then he started writing, and I think it was Jerry Ordway and Dan Jurgens were doing the art.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't really stay on it super long though. I mean, a couple years, maybe 2-3 years, maybe. You know, he just got bored. Byrne gets burned out, and he gets bored. He did it when he got bored with Fantastic Four. I think X-Men he did as well. Mm-hmm. Everything except Star Trek. And then he got weird with Star Trek because he stopped drawing things and started doing Photoshop Star Trek. Which is fine. I have nothing against those books, but you know, he doesn't draw anymore, but maybe he can't.
I think his website is burnrobotics.com or .org or something.
Yeah, it is.
And to join, you can join. You can be a member. I don't think it costs anything, but you have to have what he considers a legitimate email address, which is not Yahoo, apparently. I found that out.
Hungry Boy, you like what is it? You and others seem to like Silver Banshee. What do you like about Silver Banshee? I never really. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. I never really thought much of it one way or the other. Matthew Pounder says redeemed himself with Generations. You know what's interesting about that? I got about a year or so ago. I got the big omnibus of that cheap on InStockTrades.com, which you get a lot of good prices on there. I'm not shilling for them or anything, but they do have good prices on there. And I got, and I read, I read it, and first of all, it just, a lot of it is more proof that John Byrne should never have been allowed to ink himself. I know he got paid to be an inker. He got the inker pay, but Jesus God Almighty, he can't ink himself. He sucks. Oh, God. But the story was kind of okay, but boy, it was weird. It was dark. It was, you know, because he turned it into a generational thing, the whole DC universe into a legacy type thing. And it was interesting for a while, but I don't know. It was pretty good, I guess. It was Elseworlds, so it's fine. But it was, I don't know. It got kind of monotonous after a while. But I hear you there, Matthew Pounder. So, basically, Superman is, this is the 85th year of the character. This little nothing of a tribute. Hey, Michael Carney, good to see you, buddy. It must be really, really early over there, later early. This little nothing of a month tribute that I've done to him, which is nothing. Although we'll be reviewing the Superman comic soon as soon as I get Carlos with me on that one. It's nothing, but it's still, I guarantee it's better than anything DC Comics is going to do for the character this year.
Last 5 years.
Yeah, well, that's for sure too. But what do you think they'll do to celebrate the character this year?
They won't.
Yeah, we know. Well,
a $9.99 thick comic book, not even a trade paperback.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. And more comics about his son. Never mind.
They're not going to do that. I think they're trying to back away from that now.
Oh, thought they were doing
according to Superman #1, the new one, which I guess has supplanted the previous Superman title. We're still doing action because you can't let go of that one because it's already over 1,050, and they don't want to let go of that. They're hanging on to it so much that Detective has already gone over 1,000, and they went back and made a Marvel Comics at a Marvel Comics number 1,000, and it's not really 1,000. They just called it that. And I still collect action, and I'm looking at this new Superman book. I usually give them about 3 months. I have little or no hope for it, but
yeah,
I'll get the first 3 issues just to see where they're going with it.
Keely Chow, roll tide, buddy. So there you go. So somebody, you and J-Man and about 2 other people on this planet that I know still buy Superman comics.
What about Action? And
Superman
World's Finest, which is written by Mark Waid, and it's a really good comic, and it has almost nothing to do with current continuity. I think he's writing World's Finest comics for people who like comics.
Yeah, he's a whack job, but he does know how to write comics on occasion. But he's not, what he's just
mostly Superman. He's really good with Superman.
Yeah. He does know how to do that. I'll give him the credit for that. And they're coming up with they just need to start reprinting more good stuff too. Like I think they're doing another one of those Garcia Lopez like Batman collections or something, like stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be good to get. So February, everybody, to recap, was an amazing month for DC Heroes. Today, the 29th, which we won't have, will, of course, not only Superman, but Captain Marvel. Yeah, I know, originally not a DC superhero, but he got absorbed. Let's see here. We'll go over it again when we get out of here. Shadow Lass on the 5th of February, and Sue Dibney on the 6th. Who likes Sue Dibney? Dr. Light. I'm just kidding. Dr. Light, get it? That's terrible. Minimus's favorite character, Matter Eater Lad.
Oh boy.
Metamorpho, great character.
Rex Mason
and Simon Stagg's girl. Okay, the Vigilante, the original. Cosmic Boy, Rock Kren. A superhero named Abraham Lincoln. Remember him?
Yeah.
And we got an anniversary for the Hawks. And I don't know. I can't figure out that one with a reverse flash. Is it the 17th or the 18th?
Oh.
Yes, it's the 18th.
Well, it says on the 18th. Eobard Thawne, Professor Zoom.
And he's reaching in. He's going backwards. I get it. Batman on the 19th. So Batman and Superman are the same month. And Hal Jordan on the 20th. And Ultra Boy the 21st. Goodness gracious. Great Balls of Fire. Even Sun Boy 24th. The greatest Superman villain of them all, Terraman on the 25th. Terraman. Yeah.
And Gunner, real Gunner name withheld.
Yeah, Gunner from, what's it, Sergeant Rock?
The Losers. No, you're thinking of Ice Cream Soldier.
No, who's he with?
I have no idea what Gunner was in the Losers. Oh, okay. And I don't know his real name.
Well, there you go. And then Lori Lamaris, the 27th, the mid-maid. So a big month for a lot of the DC heroes, capped off with a celebrating the Big Daddy, the Big Kahuna, the Big Red Cheese also, but the Big Blue Banana. I don't know who called him that. I saw him called that once. Superman. So, hey, Michelle. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well and everyone is doing well. So I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Thank you for celebrating the birth of Superman. Show notes. Tomorrow night, I guess I'll be on with Tom and the gang because Cool and the gang won't have me. On Midnight's Edge After the Dark, 6 p.m. Central. I don't know if Wednesday night will have a Loki's roundtable, but I think it will. 7 p.m. Central for that. And then 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be here with something. What? I'll be here with a Wild Card Wednesday night. But I forgot to put a picture up. Anyway. And then Thursday night back with Loki. I'm sorry, not Loki, with Tom and the gang for another Midnight's Edge After Dark at 6. And then 9, we'll have the Clubhouse with Raquel and Mark. And Friday night with Nick and the gang, 8:30. And the comic shop gang there. And then Saturday night, Star Trek, 4 more episodes reviewed. And had a great time last week on Saturday Night Star Trek. So looking forward to that. And, well, everyone, have a super week. Because it's only, is it still only Monday? Wow, it's still only Monday.
You got about another 45 minutes here.
Yeah. And I want to thank the great Stu and Loki for being here with me tonight. I want to thank the even greater Minimus.
Where?
Because He's not to minimize him, but he is minimus. Hear him roar.
No, don't listen to me.
What? What'd you say?
I said no, don't listen to me.
Get it? You get it? You get it? And our great wrenches, Eric K, Chris Spurgeon, Devon Martin, Lord Thal, J-Man, Hungry Boy, Cal L, Matty Steady, and of course, Santiago Seda. All right, folks. Thank you all so much. Let me get us out of here. Have a fantastic week. I'll see you on the streams.
I just love clobbering time.